Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Beauty Connective podcast, where beauty professionals all over the industry are coming together to grow, connect, and get really real about what it's like mixing business with beauty. This episode is brought to you by the Beauty Connective, a brand new beauty directory and search engine created by beauty professionals for beauty professionals that makes it easier than ever for clients in your local area to filter by location, pricing, availability, and read reviews to find you without you having to be on the social media grind. Today, I am joined by Kendal Nelson-Stein. She is a nail tech here in Orem, Utah, and here to talk about how she built her clientele and her journey in the nail industry. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Oh, I'm so excited. I really am so excited. My cheeks are going to be hurting after this.
You're so cute. I am excited to hear about your journey. So start us from the beginning.
Okay, from the beginning. I mean, everyone has their own story. I did not see myself here in the beauty industry, that is for sure. I like to have my nails done, was not a hair person, not a makeup, all that jazz. And so I wanted to go into sports. I wanted to be an athletic trainer, go into exercise science, and that did not happen. Not for me. It was not for me. The schooling was too hard. My brain couldn't do it. I couldn't do the memorization, all that jazz. So I called it quits, and I did not finish out my college. And it was for the best. Honestly, best decision I made was to drop out of college. So if anyone needs to hear it, it's not a bad thing. But then from there, I worked. I did my own nails. I needed something and found an apprenticeship and went through school, and now I work full-time as a nail tech, and I love it. So
amazing.
Very, very short blurb.
So at what point were you like, oh, I have to make a change here, and decided to do nails?
Yeah. After I had dropped out of college, I was working as a nanny. I loved it. I called it my mom's school. It was so much fun. And then I got bored. I tend to do that a lot. I kind of get bored with what I was doing and wanted something new. I saw one of my neighbors had done an apprenticeship, so I was like, that's really cool. I really want to do that. So I found one in Cedar City and did a nail apprenticeship, and I went all in, and hopefully I don't get bored, I guess, is the big thing for me.
Yeah. How long have you been doing nails now?
I've been licensed since November of 24, so 2 years in November. But I've been doing my own nails for about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about where that started, like doing your own nails. What was that like? I know you mentioned that you learned on TikTok. What did that look like?
Yeah, once I had moved down to college, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't pay someone else to do my own nails. So I found on TikTok, I found Sweet Nails by Sab. She's a big Gel X gal Amazon storefront, and I fell in love. I did press-ons for a long time and needed something that was not going to pop off. Mm-hmm. So then, yeah, I started with Gel X, bought everything I could off of Amazon, and just went for it. So I did Gel X for about 2 years, and then started growing my Gel X nails out and just kept my natural nail underneath and started to just makeshift fill that in. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was working. So I just kept going for it. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I got into doing my own nails. And now I do it with all the right things, all the right products. And I love it. I love it a ton. Yeah.
I'm sure going through your apprenticeship and learning everything, you're like, probably like, oh, I wasn't doing that right. Doing that right.
Yes. Prep, sanitation, all the jazz. I was definitely DIYing it. So, but it worked. It worked well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still do Gel X?
No,
okay.
I don't. I didn't learn it in school. So I just kind of forgot about it. I still have all my supplies, but I don't. I want to. I think I want to. I want to do another course, find a product line. And I think I want to start doing it because it's such a short cut. I hate to say it, but it is. Like, it's such an easy, glue on a nail and paint a beautiful nail. So I love the builder structure gel because I get to create the beautiful nail, but the cheap, easy, fast of glue it on and paint it's really cool. It's a really cool product.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I never learned Gel X either.
Really? Okay.
So if you find a course, let me know because
Let's do it.
I'm like interested in learning it. It's just
Right?
like the way that apprenticeships are. I feel like you maybe just here in Utah, don't end up learning every single thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I don't
it's
even know
true.
if Gel X is part of the curriculum, honestly.
I don't think so. Yeah, there was a couple things people asked me about, and I was like, it never even was taught that in school. Polygel, never taught it. Gel X, never taught it. But hard gel, acrylic, we're good. We were taught those, so we passed our tests. We're good.
Right.
Yep.
And like you were talking about growing out your own nails, and it's true. There's something so like cool about seeing your own nails a certain length, and then people are like, "Are those your real nails?" You're like, "Yes, they're my own nails." Like, there's something so exciting about that. So I definitely, obviously, understand what pulled you in for nails. So you were down in Cedar City, and then you moved up here to Orem and started building your clientele. What did that look like?
It, for me, was such a fast, easier process. It was terrifying. More than anything, it was terrifying going from a small town, Cedar City. I was in a salon. People were coming in for walk-ins, to then moving to my hometown. I'm from Orem, to my parents' house, to nothing. Like, I had to start over. It was terrifying. And moving to such a saturated place as Utah County and Orem, I was like, well, who's going to come to me? Who would come to me? So what made it really cool and easy was I actually moved to Orem at the same time as like 9 of my clients.
Oh.
A bunch of us were graduating. They were moving up for the summer because it's a college town. No one's there for the summer.
Yeah.
So I came up with about 9 clients, and then I had my moms and my sisters. And like, so really fast, I had about 15, 20 girls that were coming to me. And then it just spread, like whether it was word of mouth, social media, like I got so overwhelmed so fast. It was really cool. I'm very lucky that it happened that way. But yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because for anyone listening who doesn't understand or know Utah, Orem especially is highly saturated with nail techs, especially. I mean, nail, hair, everything, but
all
like
of it.
Tons of nail techs in Orem. And so it would be a place where I think it would seem harder to stand out. It sounds like a lot of the clientele came from, well, you're like past, obviously like they came with you, and then that just makes it easier for them to tell their friends and it spread from there.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? Like, I know that you had clients coming, but what do you attribute to like being able to grow so quickly?
For me, I took a very different approach to my prices, honestly. Moving into my parents, having lower rent, moving into a space in my house, having very low rent, I didn't need to charge as much as other girls. And so I didn't. I called it budget friendly in big quotation marks. Like, I didn't want to be labeled cheap. I wasn't cheap. My product wasn't cheap. My nails weren't cheap, but I was very budget friendly. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that kept people coming back. They're like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. And I can afford to come back every 3 weeks. If not, like less than that or more than that. So I had cheaper nail prices for the area, for the times, for the economy, honestly. But I was able to keep so much of that money because it didn't have to go back into that rent. So I was really lucky that way. So that was my big thing, is I was budget friendly. And with that, I would try to pay my clients almost in trades for reviews, in trades for clients, in trade for content. I was like, if you're going to help me, I'll pay you for it. I'll help you back, because we got to help each other out. So that was a big thing for me, was not being as expensive as everyone else around me, and still having good quality nails come out of it.
Interesting. And that was, you were able to sustain that in your own business because you were saving so much money on like your overhead and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I went all in on one gel polish, bought the entire collection of 300 colors, and went all in on one product. And yep, I said, this is what I'm doing. You can take it or leave it. And it worked out well for me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you have like raised your prices since then, or like plan to.
I plan to. It's like in the works right now. So coming in May, 2026 will be a year that I'm in the space that I am now. And that's going to be kind of my happy birthday, Kendall. My prices are raising, which I'm excited for. I have a fully booked clientele. I have a wait list. I have so much demand that I do need to raise my prices. So I'm excited for that. I really am. I'm excited to start moving this along in a forward uphill motion.
Yay.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting.
Yeah, that's great. Because I was going to say, like, I hope that you do. Like, I hope that you raise your prices because it's been a strategy for you to grow your clientele. And then obviously, like, once you have, it's like, then you can't take on more clients. And that's when, like, you have to raise your prices.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that that's in the works too. How much do you feel like your skill and like experience that you give clients played into your success in growing your clientele?
I would say next to my prices was the next biggest thing. For one, I use the Luminary nail system as my base, and they have the most amazing retention. So when girls were coming back 3-4 weeks later being like, my nails didn't chip and lift, like, this is a miracle. For one, you've got them hooked right there. And then I feel like the atmosphere that I have in my space is so different from anyone else. You're not in a salon. You're not in a shared nail tech space. Like, it is me and you, and maybe a friend if you want it, which is even more fun. We do a lot of watching TV at my nail appointments. We do a lot of quieter appointments. We yap, we talk, but at the end of the day, like, I want to make their appointment and their experience what they're wanting, whether that is a therapist or if that's the 2 hours of quietness they can get in the week. So yeah, that's a big thing for me, is the atmosphere and the vibe of the appointment.
And that's the way to keep clients. Like you talked about obviously gaining clientele, but then retaining clientele is a completely different, I mean, it's almost just like a separate thing. Because
honestly, yeah.
If you get somebody into the chair and they don't have a good experience, they won't come back.
Yeah.
And then you are back to square one, having to find another
and
client.
Even they're going to go and tell their friends, which is the hardest part. My big thing for new clients, I'm like, tell me what you don't like. If you don't like it, I will wipe it away. I will change it up. I will do anything in my power to make sure you like your nails so that you want to come back. Because I walked away. I've walked away from appointments being like, I hate these. These are ugly, and I paid so much money for them that I'm not that nail tech. I could not in my heart let you walk away sad or disappointed. So that's a big thing for me, is you wanting to come back because you liked what happened in the appointment.
Yeah. And making that personal connection with you. And I mean, this is the first time we've met, but like, you're so kind and sweet and open. And I just know that that's a huge reason why clients come back to you, is because they just feel comfortable in your presence, which is such a huge part of it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And watching TV also, I think it's like one of the best business strategies, honestly, to have like a TV in your nail space.
I mean, with full transparency, I myself am an iPad kid. Me and my husband, we watch a TV while we eat dinner. We watch a TV before we go to bed. Like, we don't have kids, so that's the only reason why we can. So I'm like, why would you not want a Disney movie on? Or during the Olympics, I always had it on. And people were like, oh my gosh, curling? What is this? So yeah, it's a way to get their mind off of things, get them relaxed, get them just in a happy mood, because you're going to have to spend some hours with them. So any way that I can kind of bob and weave around tension or long, weird conversations, or sometimes those hard therapy conversations, I try to. I really do.
Yeah, honestly, so valid. And I feel like TV and shows are such a topic of connection. It's like, well, have you seen Severance?
Yes.
Severance
oh my gosh,
so
yes.
good. Or just like, if you've seen the same shows,
Yes.
it's like, oh, we instantly relate on something.
Right? Yeah. My biggest top 5 questions, and one of them is, what are you watching right now?
Yes.
Because if it's a connection, for one, now I have a talking point, and now I can ask questions and keep a conversation going. Because sometimes it's so hard when they give you a one answer. Like, okay, well, now what can I ask about that? So TV shows are a big thing for me. Movies, what's in the theater. I love to talk about it. So I could talk for hours. So we got to stop that. But
let's kind of talk about this really quickly because it's such an interesting thing. I feel like I haven't actually talked about this on the podcast, but just like conversational skills of having clientele, like, because you're having multiple clients per day.
Yes.
You're connecting with people who are very different from each other.
Yes.
And you mentioned that's like one of your go-to questions, like, what are you watching? What other things are like going through your mind as you're sitting down with a client that's completely different from another one, and how to connect and make sure that they're comfortable?
Yeah. I guess with a little bit of backstory for the answer, I'm a very big introvert, especially coming out of COVID. I didn't know how to talk to people or want to talk to people. Someone can come up to me and I'll talk. I would never, in my biggest confidence, could go up to someone and say hi and talk to them. And so going into nail school, my biggest 2 worries were French tips and we're talking to clients. So I was like, once I got over the French tips and I mastered that, I was like, okay, now I have to learn how to talk to someone and do a skill in a timely manner. Like it's a lot to juggle in one time. So for talking with clients, I, for one, keep notes after every appointment. I write down stories that were mentioned, shows, food, events, anything like that, because my brain can't remember everything. It really can't, so I have to write it down. So getting it out of my head and onto paper instantly makes me remember it more. And then when I bring it up, people are like, oh my gosh, you remembered this and this and this? I'm like, I know, I'm cheating. I am. But like, fake it, right? Fake it till you make it. So that's a big thing for me, is remembering and writing down what we talked about, what colors they used, what products they used. And then reading the room. I feel like in a big way, one of my superpowers is being a chameleon and going super, super talkative or going super quiet, or just kind of reading that room and their responses and take in anything that you can. It's hard. They don't give you a lot to talk about sometimes. So pulling any question you can to get any conversation, it can be tricky. So find your 5 go-to questions and keep those in your back of your head for sure.
That's such a good idea. And as I'm thinking more about this, I'm thinking this is such an important quality and trait of a beauty service provider because of how much time you're spending with this person, and you're building a personal relationship with them over time.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that, I don't know, did you talk about it in your apprenticeship at all? I didn't. Like, I don't think this was something that I kind of prepared for, but...
No, I don't think we ever talked about it, but my instructor, Trisha Jensen, shout out, huge shout out, is just an amazing human being, nail tech, business owner. Like, she juggles it like none other. And so seeing her reoccurring clients come in and they just talk and she knows everything about them, and just the connection she had with her clients made me want to have that. I didn't want surface level, come and get your nails done and I'll see you in 3 weeks. Like, I wanted them to like me and I wanted them to come back. So I think that was a big thing, was I just saw it more than I was taught it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And like, to give you some credit too, like, you observed that and took away from that and implemented in your own business. And I think a big part of it too, when people are coming in your chair, anything that you can do to make them feel special, taken care of. And a huge part of that is like letting people talk about themselves.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
A lot of people go about their life and like have not been asked something,
right?
You know, a certain question, or asked to share about an experience or things like that. And that always makes people feel good. And you want to make people feel good.
Totally.
And other people, like you mentioned, introverted. And some people don't love to chat. And I think that's fine too. And I think there's a place for that as well. And I feel like your people will find you. But definitely having those like conversational skills, I feel like, is huge in building relationships and retaining clients.
Yes, totally. And I, for one, knowing how to move conversations and keep them going, but also just to be a good listener. So many times in my brain while I'm doing my nails, I'm like, oh, I should tell them about this. Oh, I should. And I'm like, no, they're talking. They're going to want, like, let them tell you everything that they want to, and then ask questions. Then keep it going. Because if you let them talk, most of them will. And that's what's best for us. The more talking they do, the less talking I have to do, the less multitasking. So yeah, the more I can get them to talk about their weekend, their plans, their family, anything like that, I push for it for sure. Yep.
Yeah. I always think about this because I have had clients, I like sent a lot of my clients away for a while because I had a lot of pain in my hands.
Totally.
And while I was sort of on a break from doing nails, they went to other nail techs, and something interesting that I heard from several of them as they came back was just like, I think I would have gone back to her, but I just like, I don't know, I felt weird. She was just like chatting with the other girl the whole time, like the other nail tech next to her.
Okay.
Or I don't know, it was just like hard to talk to her. I don't know, things like that are actual reasons why somebody won't come back to you.
Yeah. I mean, when you're trusting someone with your nails and your hands, you look at your hands all day long, every day for the next 3 weeks. So if you don't like that, every time you don't like that, you're going to think of your nail tech. And for me, I couldn't. I just don't like knowing that someone didn't like what I did for them. And so that's a big thing, is when you can have that connection and be like, okay, last time we did that color, you weren't the biggest fan of it. What if we go more into the pinks that we know you love? So learning your clients, learning their nail history, their likes, their dislikes, it's really going to be a big help in this world for sure.
Well, your clients are so lucky.
Thank you.
I can tell you put so much intention into your relationship with them and into the nails that you're giving them, and like making sure that they're happy with the results and everything. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
What kind of advice would you give? You mentioned that like it was scary for you moving and starting from scratch to build a clientele. What advice would you give to somebody who's nervous about that, and especially maybe starting in a place that does feel like it's so saturated with nail techs?
Yeah, I find some way to stand out, whether that's your prices, your product, your nail art. And it's hard, especially in such a saturated world, to find some way to stand out. But more than that, if you don't have the product, the skill to back up any of that, you're not going to get anywhere. If people are walking away with crooked nails, coming back with chips and lifts and breaks, they're just not going to come back. They're not going to want to. And so I think for me, having the skill and continuing my education is a big thing, is probably the most important. Is if you're not going to have good nails, you're not going to have clients, you're not going to make money. So first and foremost, you got to be good at your job. You can't come into this beauty industry, want to be an influencer, want to be a big beauty person, and have crappy nails, right? So I think that's the biggest thing, is just having good quality, good looking, beautiful nails, beautiful product, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, it's like now that the industry is very saturated, that is the way to stand out, is giving better quality nails than the masses.
Yep, exactly. Which is doable. Now, like it was kind of finicky way back when we were kind of figuring out acrylic, polygel, all that jazz. But now we have some amazing products out there that work well, work with different nails, different hands. So yeah, try something out. Try it on yourself is the biggest thing. As I do my own builder gel. I just recently did 5 different products. I saw that you did that too, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at us. But yeah, so I did 5 different products on one hand and see which one did the best. And one product had a ton of cracks, a ton of stress cracks. So I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not using that anymore. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for my clients. So yeah.
Yeah, keep learning. If you are feeling like you're not able to bring in clients, like maybe do a really good evaluation of the quality that you're giving and the nails that you're doing.
Yeah, like, and it's hard to say, hard to be like, well, sweetheart, you're not doing your best. Like, let's go take a cuticle class, or go take a structured manicure class or art class. But even go watch videos. There is so much on the internet. You don't have to. You can go YouTube, you can go TikTok, you can, like, everything. There is so much education and learning opportunities everywhere. So take advantage of it. Totally.
Yeah. Ask for feedback.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yep.
Have people like give it to me straight. Tell me honestly, like, what do you like or dislike about the nails, or what do you notice about them? Like, getting feedback and improving your skill, number one. And like you said, finding a way to stand out, having like a niche or something that you're really honing in on that you can offer to people, and you're known for like that thing. Like you said, you were known for being like a budget friendly option.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome advice. What's up next for you?
I have a few things. I'm doing my prices, and policies are changing and updating. I am going to a luminary in-person class, which I'm super excited for, in Sandy coming up. My instructor went to a couple of their classes, so I felt really good in my knowledge of luminary and the system. So I'm excited to go for myself and be like, hey, what else can I learn? So that's coming up. The Nail Expo in September, I'll be there. Just a lot of bucket list things. This is a big bucket list thing for me. I saw you months ago and signed up months ago and thought, this is so cool. I wish it was like a Tinder. Like, what if we swipe through all these people? And just my brain, it's always going, and ooh, what if she did this? What if? So yeah, it's so cool to be here, see your space, see what you've built. So yeah, just a lot of bucket list things for me.
Amazing. I love it. And it's the best job ever.
It is.
Doing nails.
Who knew us nail techs and the beauty service would just have so much fun and love our jobs. So,
totally. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being here. Where can everybody find you to follow along?
I am at mynailgirl.k everywhere, Instagram, TikTok. I was able to snag it, surprisingly. When I saw yours and a bunch of other girls with My Nail Girl blah, blah, blah. And I was able to get just K. I was like, that's mine. It's mine. So yeah, mynailgirl.k is where you can find me.
Everyone follow along with Kendal.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Beauty Connective podcast. If you're a beauty professional who wants to help us revolutionize the beauty industry and make it easier for clients to find you and for you to find clients, create your profile today at thebeautyconnective.com.